Come on.
Sorry, guys. I don't know. Giggly Bus is just freaking out for me today.
That's okay. That's okay. Hopefully this works better. So yeah, your sister's approaching you and gives you a hug.
Hug and probably a kiss on his cheek. And after that, I'll hold him by his shoulders and kind of take a proper look at him and say, the outfit suits you, my brother.
Yes, I think it does. I'm glad that you're back.
I look at him a bit like, not the enthusiastic response that I was expecting. I'd say like,
did you bring our brother?
I did. He's on his horse over there, or with his horse over there.
Brander just sort of like looks over at him and doesn't really say too much.
Yeah, they're approaching you. Almer, Belthier, and Claudio are approaching you. Not too far away. You can tell that Almer is a little. He looks unsure. Doesn't even require a roll because it's very obvious.
You'll have to keep that one in line, sister. I think he has plans, even though he has lost this current battle.
Is he talking about our brother?
Yeah, I'm looking at Almer as I say this, like he's walking up towards us, and I just sort of like leaned over and told you that.
Oh, quietly, so not that he hears it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Right in his face, like, yeah, you have to fuck him, because I can see this.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah. No, I kind of look and say, like, he seems to be alright joining Marcus.
Seems to be.
Well, things change. We'll see how it goes.
Yes. I believe I have some training to do.
Yes. Don't let us keep you.
You see that Almer is giving you, Brander is giving you a like stern kind of look as he gets closer to you. And so you killed father.
His blood flows in my veins, as does the bear.
He leans into you. What made you do that?
I'll just sort of look up at the sky and look around, and I'll just walk past Almer.
Wait, he reaches his hand out and then grabs you by your shoulder. I asked you a question.
Yes, and I didn't answer it. And I shrugged my shoulder like violently away from his hand and keep walking.
You see that Claudio's like walking beside you, and he's giving you this like he gives you a look, and he like nods his head to you just like slowly. But Belthier is beside Elena, and he's glancing at Almer, who you see anger kind of grow in his face. What do you think? You're better than me now?
I'll stop and turn around.
He takes a step towards you, but he doesn't close the distance.
I'll take a step towards him and stop. Just glaring at him. And then I'll take another step.
You think I'll forgive you just because you killed a bear in a pit?
The gods will not be mocked.
Guys, this is not the way I pictured you two meeting. Let's leave this for another time. Almer, come on, let's go and meet Marcus. Brander, you go do some training.
Brander doesn't turn around until Almer does.
Elena, why don't you make a, what kind of roll would this be? Persuasion check.
If it's aimed at Brander, he's gonna, he's gonna fail.
Make a persuasion check. Just a general, try to affect, your older brother.
Oh, there we go. 25.
Okay, yeah, he listens to your words and turns following you, but it's not over between us.
I'll just nod slowly.
Kinslayer.
And I'll watch him walk away.
He doesn't even look back at you, but I don't know, would Kinslayer sting, or would that be kind of like a meh, yeah, I know what I did kind of thing for you?
Well, that's interesting, because knowing that I'm not who this person is, I don't think it has as much of a sting as it should.
Okay,
especially
nice.
if I think what my profession is. It's like, oh, I've probably done that a few times.
I kind of... Well, Almer probably won't look back, but you see Elena looking back a bit puzzled at her brother, as in, well, this is not the Brander I left behind. So she looks at him for a few seconds, but then focuses on getting to the hole to Marcus.
When Alina looks at him, he just waves at her, and then turns around and goes to the training.
Let's move on.
Okay. Marcus. News hits you quickly. That'd be like a runner, like a, and you'd hear, yes, my lord, your sister's back. As is your brother.
Are they followed by retainers?
He straightens as he looks at you. This will be like a young kid. One of the Iron Claws is with them, and they seem to have a corpse. No one else, my lord.
Very well, you are dismissed.
He nods to you and runs off to spread the news.
And I'll go and do my King Conan sit on the throne there. I'll just be waiting for them in this stern. Just wait.
So you're sitting on your throne waiting? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, Elena, you bring him into the hall, I'd imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
we'll probably have the body of Sim with us as well.
Okay. So what do you want to enter first? Do you want the body to enter first, or do you want to enter?
No. We'll enter first,
Okay.
of course.
Okay. So as you guys make your way in, Marcus, you'd see the expressions on the two of them. Elena, how do you look? What's your emote? What's your expression like? What's the passive reading on your face?
She wants to look happy, but she's probably still a bit puzzled by Brander's demeanor and stuff. So she's a bit like, focus on the situation at hand, and she'll smile at Marcus with her radiant smile and say, "Brother, good to see you again."
I'll have my I'll like look at Elena and in an acknowledging way, but I won't say anything, and then I'll go back to looking at Almer and what he does.
Almer takes us 2 steps forward, and he pulls his coif off his head, and it kind of does this like rattling sound, like. You can tell that he's a little haggard. His hair is all like sticking to his head. He looks at you, and he says, takes a breath and says, "What now?" He takes another step forward. "You're the oldest. Father's dead. I acknowledge you as head of house. But what now?"
I'll wait for a short time after he said that. I'll keep looking at him in a stern way, and then slowly I'll rise from the seat and stand there for a little while, like 10 seconds, and then go slowly to walk down towards them in this very menacing type of way, like I'm really carrying myself like I weigh a ton, you know. And all the while having my face be very, very serious and very, like, you know, that I could cut with my look, you know, type of thing, you know. And I'll walk towards him. I'll walk right in front of him, and then I'll just nonchalantly, in this kind of mafia boss way, I'll hold my arms out for him to come and embrace me.
Okay, as you do that, he does meet you, and he extends his arms out, and he steps into your embrace, and you can feel his chin on your shoulder, as he says, like in like this like whisper, but you guys can hear it. He says, "It was hard. It was hard to think I'd be moving against you." And he tightens his, the hug.
We're family. And had Sim's words been true, I wouldn't have expected anything less from you.
Elena
But
smiled.
no, if you ever stand against me again, I will cut you down.
He takes a step back, and he's got this serious look on his face. You're the head of the house. Whatever you say goes. But I don't want to be I don't want to be like Edgem. I don't want to be useless. I don't want to be locked in my room like Nathan. I want to have some authority here. Especially if our house is moving in the direction that Father wanted it to move.
You don't have to worry about that. I've been aching for someone I can leave in charge if I need to go somewhere. I need your level of authority in this household.
Then give me the infantry.
You want the infantry?
He nods to you. Tarly, he's a fat drunk, out of shape. The men, they'll accept me with ease.
How did the Iron Claws accept you?
You can see he like sucks in his lower lip and chews on it. The infantry did well. The Iron Claws not so much. They kept. He looks very like angry for a moment. They kept asking for things. I'm not going to tell you that they forced me into a corner, but they kept indulging. I kept saying yes. I didn't want them to switch sides. Basically gave them the run of the place. I mean, what else could I have done? If I thought that you were moving against me, I didn't want to, have them leave. Because I'd never win in that case.
Well, in that case, I just wish to know if you would be in charge of the infantry and the infantry would come and make demands to you, would you do the same with them?
It's a different culture. The infantry, they're regimented. They follow whoever is in charge. These Ironclaw, they follow their own more than the others. They feared Father. They followed Father. Me, they followed me when I gave them ale and access to women.
They might have feared Father, but they respect me because I'm one of them. I will look after them. You look after the infantry. Because, as a matter of fact, I will be sending Tarly away for a task at Wood Tower.
He gives you a nod.
Give me a report on the situation at Wood Tower at the present time.
He nods to you. Do you want this now, or do you want me to put some thought behind it?
Just give me the...
I'll tell you this. Most of the men are gone. They ran into the woods, leaving their wives, their women, their children behind to tend the farms. The farming situation is abysmal. I think most of them joined brigands or formed some sort of squad, enacting the name of Sigurd. We're basically pinned in that area. When I sent out patrols during the day, scouting for them, they would slink into the farms, receive provisions from their wives, and slink back out. The Ironclaws then, well, they'd punish the women, and I'm sure you know how they did that. It's a situation that is circular, and he kind of rotates his head a bit up and down. We search for them, we can't find them, they come, get provisions from their women, we fuck their women, or at least they did. They got more upset. Or some instances where we found traps in the woods. I guess one of them must have been a trapper.
Well, I'll look around. Is there anybody besides me, Ulmer, and Elena in the room?
Would you want anyone else to be in the room?
Somebody I could give an errand to.
Okay, yeah, you see that boy that told you the news? You can have him bring someone more skilled, or just give him the errand.
I'll yell at him, you! Bring Maester Talsil here, and bring Tarly here as well.
Yes, my lord. He runs off. And so I'll switch the scene to Brander. It's you and Claudio. You're both walking away from that confrontation. He says to you, "You handled yourself well."
Us Iron Claws have respect, do we not?
We do, but you don't have your claws just yet. He shows off his own, kind of like holding them out like in front of you as you're walking side by side.
What do I have to do to earn those?
Well, he stops as you guys are like in the village now. There's like chickens that kind of like cock their way past you. There's like two kids running with like sticks and like a hoop that they're making continuously move. You'd hear like someone selling wares not too far away, and fishermen throwing their nets. All that's happening around you. There's like seagulls. Well, would there be seagulls? There'd be like birds that kind of like hover overhead for a moment, as Claudio says, "Well, right now to most of them, you look like you're just wearing the outfit. What we like to do," and he kind of leans in closer, and this isn't really part of the initiation, but it's something us Iron Claws like. We get into a brawl. He gestures towards the tavern. Remember, I was going to take you there last night before the group came with the money and the bag. You're going to get into a fight with a couple of drunks. It's going to be more than one of them, 3 preferably, or even more. And you're going to lay them out. News will travel that that you're fit. He grabs your arm and gives it a squeeze. And you'll have your aura of respect. Personally, I knocked down 3.
I'll just get like an ordinary smile on my face. 3, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How's your face?
He grins at you. Remember, you're not out there to kill people. It's just a little friendly brawl. These villagers here, they've come to expect it. So don't be surprised if more than just a few come at you. It's almost like a sport.
So be it.
Go get him. He puts his hand to your back and kind of gestures you towards the tavern.
Brander's gonna like stretch his arms out, crack his knuckles, head to the side, and he walks into the tavern.
Okay, as you walk in, you see various villagers. They're all kind of like hunched over. Maybe about 10 of them. It is kind of midday-ish at this point, just before lunch hour, I guess. And they're drinking, they're sipping. You see some fishermen there. They're fishing rods kind of against the walls. You see the shield of your house over top of the bar, and as you kind of like step in, you get a few like people looking over their shoulders in your direction. One of the guys at the bar kind of does a full like 180 turn and kind of like spreads his knees a bit. He's this chunky fella, probably an out of towner. He's giving you this like cockeyed glance as his like double chin kind of wiggles a little as he drinks from his cup.
So he's obviously like just staring me down.
Kinda, yeah. You get the sense that he probably heard stories of what goes on in this tavern.
Are there any people between me and him?
There'd be a servant girl, and there would be one of the fishermen who's talking to another one, kind of like douchebaggish, like two people talking in the middle of the hallway, that kind of thing. He's like talking to another fisherman, just like standing there, not too far in front of you.
I'm gonna start walking right at him as if there's nothing else in the way, and anything that's in my way, I'm gonna push, shove, knock down. There's a chair, I'll kick it out of the way. A table, I'll push it off to the left. Just making a mess and a cacophony of noise.
Okay, so the guy like whoa. You shove him. He falls into a guy who's seated at a table. Hey, watch what you're doing.
Like the waitress, I'll just like push her right in the chest, right down on her ass, get her out of my way.
She falls, like drink spill. You kick out seeds from under a guy who's not too close to his table. There's like 4 people that you like push down or hurt to get to this big guy, and they all kind of get up and they all look in your direction, a little peeved. Claudio is in the door frame, like both his elbows are on either side of the door as if he's blocking people from leaving, and you can hear him say to the people trying to get in, he's like, "It's closed. Get the hell out of here." This fat guy who puts his drink down and reaches for a stool beside him, kind of like you hear this like along the wooden floor as he's got this stool, and he's trying to get up. He's like,
I think this is when Brander is gonna leap forward, like jump on the table. I picture like a table in front of him.
Yeah, he was at the bar. He turned around. There's a nearby table, most definitely.
So sort of like jump on the table, slide across it, grab him like by the neck, and then momentum take him further, something like that.
I'm not gonna have you make like fight checks with these guys, but I will have you make a strength specialty roll. I think that's athletics, correct?
Athletics strength, yeah.
Make that check for me. You're listing some weight from this guy.
Do I still have wound penalties? That's surprising.
No, your wound is gone.
Okay. All right, I will drop a 2 then, and I got an 18.
Okay.
So,
what do you
what's
want?
3 6s?
What did you want to do with him?
Just sort of like just clatter him, like just I don't know, just pile on top of him, slam his head on the ground, something like that.
Okay, so you knock him off his stool. You're on top of him. You slam the back of his head into the wood. He's dropped the stool he was going to use as a weapon, and as you're on top of him, you hear the woman that you pushed say, "Get that son of a bitch!" And there's 3. Well, you can see 3 people moving towards you. One of them, like one person that you didn't even look, jumps at your back, and it's like he's got you in this. He's trying to get you in this like neck stranglehold. His arm is trying to wedge between your chin and your neck. What do you do? What do you do? They're headed towards you. And
I think I'm gonna just yell at the guy that I'm on top of. I won't yell in your ears, but no one looks at me that way, and I'm gonna pluck out one of his eyes.
He's like, one of the guys who's walking towards you stops walking towards you and takes a seat. The other 2 are still moving. The guy at your back I'm gonna make a roll. Make a
fighting, I guess, or
make a fighting check to see if you can keep your chin from keep his hand from sliding under your chin.
Okay. Not as good. 9, 7, 12.
12? Okay, 12 does it. You see he's like struggling. He's struggling. You kind of lower your chin. He can't quite get at it. You have easy bite range on his arm now if you want to bite him.
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
Okay,
I'll
you bite him. He's like, As you're doing that, you feel like blood enter like your mouth as this guy's like, stop, I give.
I'm gonna shake my head left and right like a dog shaking like a dead rabbit in his mouth. And I want to try to have a big chunk of flesh come off his arm.
Okay. Make me. What's your athletics? It's 1 die for. Make a strength check for me.
Okay.
Strength of the jaw. I'm gonna make a roll for him to see if I'm gonna make an endurance check.
I'll drop 2 1s and I guess that's 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, try as you might to force flesh off his hand. It's you really can't, and one of the reasons why is because you just got kicked in the ribs by one of these patrons, as they're seeing you be so vicious with these guys. The guy who you bit, like your jaw would immediately release this man who now like rolls off your back. He's like clutching his arm, like you hear like laughter from the doorway, the door frame. As the guy who kicked you in the ribs, it was a pretty vicious kick, and he's grabbing onto the bar as if he's gonna like boot stomp you again in the ribs.
Okay, I think this is when my berserker kicks in.
Oh yes.
So did he damage me? Like I don't.
Let's say he gave you 4 damage because those are pretty big stomp.
Okay, at this point I think I'm gonna kick as hard as I can backwards, like his knee.
Oh, okay. Make a fight check for me, just to see how well you do on that.
That's good. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
If you get okay, that is you kick at his knee. It doesn't, his leg doesn't snap or anything, but he does like rear back, and he hunches over, grabbing his knees, like And some of these guys around here that you saw like initially moving towards you are now not moving towards you. There's one guy that kicked you. There's another one who was going with him, but he's now in like a state of like, is this a good idea for me? He's like thinking it over.
Yeah.
The guy whose eye is missing and you're still on top, you're still like somewhat on top of him is like in severe pain.
All right, so yeah, I don't know what order you want to do things in or whatever.
You tell me who you want to. It's your action right now.
All right, the guy who looked like he doesn't he's not sure if he really wants to be here, I want to grab a glass off one of the tables and smash it in the side of his face.
Okay. You reach up for the bar. You got the glass. You want to spring up and slash him in the face?
Yeah, just like I have the mug in my hand, and I was like, just smash it like to the side of his face, not cut him, just like smash the cup into his face. I guess.
Ooh, okay. You smash it into his face. He grabs it, and as he's holding it, like crying, you see Claudio kind of grins at you, and then with his chin, he kind of like points behind you, like kind of like, "Watch out, buddy." One of those, and you see that fat guy whose eye you plucked out. He's it's too late as you're glancing behind you. He's like a football player, like grabbing you in this tackle, and you feel like the wall right away, like as your chest slams into it, like right by the door frame. So like Claudio is looking at you, like a few inches away, not helping you, but you're like pinned to the wall by this huge fat eyeless guy who is enraged. You take 3 damage from that kind of like forced hit, and you're gonna have to beat him in a strength check if you want to get out of it, because he seems like he's gonna continuously like slam you against this wall.
Okay.
The guy behind the bar is like screaming. He's like, "Stop this!"
All right, I'll drop a 1 and a 1. Okay, I got a 5, a 4, and a 4. So what's that? 9, 10, 11, 13.
13. I got 3, 3, 3, 4. That's 13 too. So we tied. So he still has you. You still have him, but he still has you, but he's not able to slam you. He's like,
so we're kind of like locked in.
Yeah. Claudio's looking at you. He's like, "Don't tell me you need some help."
I think instead of, so he's trying to hold me. Is that what he's trying to do? Like, what's his intent? Like,
he wants to just keep slamming you into that wall, like.
Oh, okay.
Using his mass and his strength to basically knock you out through constant trauma to your head.
I want to try to like let go of all my weight, like just drop like a rock, and smash his head against the wall behind me.
Okay.
Like he's trying to go that way, and I want to try to have momentum go with the weight. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Do an agility check.
Agility. Okay. Oh, I do have my armor on, so I have a -4 penalty. So I got a 4.
Okay, that won't do. Okay, take another 1 damage from him slamming you.
Okay, what is my health? I think I take a wound at this point. Let's see here.
Okay.
Health was at 12. Yeah, I'm right at 12. Does that mean I have to take a wound then if I'm right at 12?
No, then you have to take 1 over.
Okay, so I'm like, yeah, I'm beat up.
Yeah. He's like, "You shouldn't have taken my eye, you son of a... I'll kill you."
I think he said I had 1, well, whatever. Is it his go?
No, he just did his damage too, so it's your turn.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, man. I guess I'll just try to smash his head with mine.
Okay, so just do a fighting check on him.
Okay, that's better. 12. 16?
That is 2 degrees. Okay, so you multiply your damage by 2. That's okay. You rear back your head. You hit him in the forehead. He releases you. Takes a few steps back. You can tell that he's dazed. Like for his turn, he's dazed.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just charge him and try to slam his back into the bar. Oh.
All right. So as you charge him, You do just as you expected. You charge him. His back goes towards the bar, and right in that crook, you just know that must hurt because all that like flubber and all that on him, it kind of like shakes around, and the bartender like immediately almost jumps back from what's happening here. His eyes kind of roll back in his head. You've got one guy on the floor gripping his knee. You got this guy who's like thoroughly damaged. He's still conscious, but you can tell that thing hurt, what you just did to him. And there's the guy who was originally on your back, whose arm you bit. He's kind of gripping onto it, staring at you. He's no longer in the fight. When you make eye contact with that guy whose arm you bit, he kind of raises his free arm and gives you like that like shake of the hand, like no, please no. But everyone else is kind of just watching you. It's the aftermath, unless you want to continue it.
I was just gonna pick up the heavy man, and you said there was a guy on the floor still, right?
Yeah.
I was just gonna pick him up and like hurl him.
Okay.
Like right on top of him.
All right. You want to pick him up like by lifting his feet off the ground?
Like I'm gonna like hit him right in the waist, and like his waist is gonna hit my shoulder, and then I'm gonna like throw him over my shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. You do it. Your fighting skill is high enough, so don't bother rolling. You flip him. He falls on top of the guy. And you hear from the door frame.
And then I'll look over at Claudio, and
he steps in, and as everybody's kind of like dumbfounded and silent, he looks at you.
And then I'll just walk out.
As you're walking out, he puts his hand on your chest and he says, "Brander, let's buy these lads a drink." He looks at all the hurt guys and everyone who's kind of like shocked, staring at it. He's like, "One round for everyone. Let's go. Take your seat. You've earned it."
I'll reach into my pocket and grab out some silver coins and throw it at the guy who's missing an eye.
Okay, he scoops them up. You see like bloody spittle coming out of his mouth. No one's helping him up, but the guy with the injured leg kind of eventually like hobbles up, and as this night goes on for you, as this time goes on for you for a little bit, the guy who you bit would eventually thank you for the drinks. The guy whose leg you injured would have given you like a respectful nod by the end of the night, and the fat guy would have left probably to return home, eyeless and scared. So there's your initiation, and as this night is getting a little deeper. You've spent most of the day basically and into the night in this tavern, so you're well into your cups, and as you're well into your cups, you would Claudio as well. He'd have like the bar wench that you knocked over on his lap. He's like talking about the clause. He's like, I'll throw in the word to Marcus. You'll get your claw tomorrow for sure. You'll wake up, have a talk with him. He'll say, "Yeah, I mean, you really made a mess of the place." He grins at you.
Any words to Marcus of me, I would appreciate.
Yeah, he slaps the woman on his lap, and she gets up off his and like gets to yours, and he's like, "All right, I'm done here. You give her a good ride." He's making his way out, and as he's making his way out, he's like, you guys are like the Iron Claws are like alpha to the extreme. These guys. So as he's making his way out, he's not even outside of the room, but he like whips his dick out to piss just outside, and as you're staring out there, like you're close enough to the door frame that he's like literally like pissing like just outside the door, right against the side of the building. His elbow like up against the wooden walls of the outside. And there's people like coming in and out. No one's really telling him like, "Whoa, dude, like go somewhere else." He's just doing it. So that's where we'll leave you for now. And a little back in time-ish. The Maester and Tarly come towards the main hall of Bearhold, led by the boy. Tarly is rubbing his bandaged hand, his bushy mustache, ever prevalent as is his gut, and he's making his way towards you. He's got his feminine hat on, his eyes a little squinty as he's approaching.
Right. I called you both here because I have a task for you, something where I will need you to pack your bags, because you will be spending a few nights. I will be sending you with able-bodied men to Wood Tower. I will need you to take care of the people that have been hurt because of the actions our house has taken, and I need you to repair the damages caused by our house, and I need you to build defenses similar to what we've done here. I need you, Tarly, to take charge of the men who will be doing the repairs and who will be doing the building of the moats and the punji sticks and spikes and walls you will be building there. And Maester, you will take whoever you need to take with you to aid you in looking after the people who have suffered because of this.
Tarly kind of like puts his hands on his belt a bit. He's silent for a moment. And he says, "How many other men should I bring with me? It's not just me, is it?"
No, of course not. You will be bringing as many men as you need. I will say, bring 80 to 100 workers with you. I want this to work swiftly like a well-oiled machine. I want this to go off without a hitch. I want you to really, really burn your behind doing this.
Can I make a request? He sniffles like his nose, and he chews on his lip for a moment. I know it's a strange request to make, my lord, but I hope you'll grant it to me. Can I take a little more troops? And when I get there, can I get your boys out of my hair? Can I get the Iron Claws back here?
Well, I'll glance at Ulmer, and I'll be like, well, since you will be on this task, Ulmer will be in charge of infantry. But I will need Ulmer here.
You can see he's got a frown on his face now as he like shuffles and turns and glances towards Ulmer, and he looks back towards you, kind of that in like, huh, kind of way. All right, my lord. If that's your wish, I've trained with most of these lads since they were green. I've shown them the ropes, but if that's what you think is best, I got no choice. But you'll let me take most of the infantry to the north, right? That's not
I'll still be looking at Ulmer when he asks that.
Ulmer takes a bit of a breath, and he says, I just left the Iron Claws, and now they're coming this way. How many infantry would you be leaving me with? There's already infantry in the north. And Turley kind of takes his hat off his head. You can tell he's got that balding head, almost like a Hulk Hogan style haircut. As he crushes his hat in his hand, the feather kind of sticking out from his index and thumb, and he says, "You'll have to make do with 40." Your brother gives you this look. If it's in the best of the house, fine. Tarly gives a little bit of a grin. I just don't want the Iron Claws up there because, well, quite frankly, I never trained with any of them. I never taught any of them. There was a few that watched me train. Some of them made fun of me for my weight. He grabs his stomach. But they all got black eyes for it. He grins.
Enough of this. I want you to send the Iron Claws back because their presence there is extremely volatile for what I want to have done there. One must understand that Wood Tower couldn't have been left without a set of guard there, so that's why they're still there. But as soon as you arrive, you will release them of their duty and have them report back here. And do not worry about your position. Even though Ulmer will be in charge of infantry, I will still have plenty of use of you.
My lord is very wise. I will do just as you ask. I'll whip the men that were made rowdy by the Iron Claw, the infantry that are there. I'll whip them back right into shape. And I'll start...
You see,
yeah.
Tarly, Maester, you see, the idea is that as soon as I'm married, I will be visiting Wood Tower, and I want it by that time to be taken care of, at least to a point where it is, shall we say, presentable to a lady.
Of course. I will endeavor to do so. Any specific requests as far as the citizens are concerned?
Do not ask any favors from them for your service. Your service will be paid for by our house. It is not on their shoulders to give you or the men any sort of alleviation for the hard work that you are going to be doing. So you are to help them, you are there to aid them, and you are there to nurture them, and hopefully the children who see us will grow up appreciating it and not believing their parents' tales of what actually went down. And this will all be forgotten in the history pages of Bear Island.
Very sound thinking there, my lord.
I'm not expecting a full-on conflict with the other houses, but I am expecting them to give me hard time over it. But I can handle hard time.
You want me to build any defensive infrastructure while I'm there? Or will that
Yes.
Very good.
Don't worry about north. I won't. I doubt there will be any need to worry about the Frostfoot. But when it comes to the east, make every effort. I will also send ships back to safeguard the coastal lines between Wood Tower and House Rain. Just in case.
He grins at you. You know, Rain didn't really like that blockade we had up.
We don't need to blockade them, we just need to safeguard Wood Tower. We just don't need them landing their ships there.
You got it. I'll, how fast do you want me to leave? I can go as early as the morning. It's like midday-ish.
Spend the rest of the day, you both, gathering all the personnel you will need, all the men you will need, all the tools you will need. And as soon as day breaks, you will take your leave.
He gives you a nod. And the maester, you see he looks a little reluctant. He says, now, my lord, do I understand that you wish for me to go to Wood Tower as well?
Yes.
He rubs his hands a little bit nervously. He says, it's usually the custom of a maester to accompany a lord. When we are taught to be like a teacher, like a guide for a household. And well, I know that Wood Tower hasn't had a maester for more than a few years. I think my place is within these walls. I will not refuse. I'm simply.
While he's talking in mid sentence, I'll go to walk towards him in the same kind of menacing way I walked towards Olmer earlier.
He stops and furrows his brows a little, looking uncertain.
Consider the difference. Consider seeing medical personnel arriving into your village compared with a maester at the helm arriving at your village. Which would you prefer?
I see your point.
You're not there just to work. Practically, you're there to inspire and to give the image that we're giving them all of our efforts.
Very well then. There is one thing, however. I'll best speak to you more in private regarding it.
Fine. You are all dismissed.
Your older brother looks towards your sister Elena, and he heads out. Belthier kind of lingers and follows Elena if she leaves.
I get up as well, and I tell, as I walk away, I look at my brother and say, Marcus, we brought a gift from Almer's camp. When you have time, please look at it and see what you want done with it.
There's like a bundled body. Obviously it's a body, but it's bundled. So you don't know what it might be, and it's like placed up against the side of like the hearth in the center.
I'll look at it, and then I'll look Elena into the eyes, and I'll give her a firm nod.
I'll go and find Marianne.
Okay, so as you're headed out to find Marianne, you know that Belthier's like walking not step in step beside you, but he's like kind of following you from behind.
As I look back and kind of look at him. Was there something you wanted, Belthier?
He stops and like leans against one of these the walls of the hallway. He his eyes like go like from your feet up to your face, and he says, Sim, I was gonna talk to you about it earlier, but that's not a way to deal with the Iron Claws. You the boys, the lads, they were in giggles as you were pushing them around. You're lucky I was there.
What are you saying?
I'm just saying that I'm always looking out for you. I talked to your brother before I left to try to find this Sigurd, and just want you to know. And he kind of like takes a few steps towards you. Your cat is like sitting down beside your feet, kind of preventing him from closing full distance. But as he comes up towards you, he says, I want you to know that, well, you probably already know, but I've had my eye on you for some time. And he puts his hand on your hip. Your cat kind of looks up at him quizzically. Kind of, you hear like a very faint from its throat. My intention is only to keep you safe. And I think that I'm the most qualified among the men to do that. Boring, he kind of gives you a grin. Familiar relations, of course.
I look at him a bit like... I look at his hand on my hip.
He keeps it there.
You're being too formal, Bill. How do you say that? Too forward, Belsier.
I've known you to be a very, to be a woman that takes risks. Remember that time when you found that cat? I tried to keep you back, but you just kept pursuing. Well, this is me pursuing.
I smile at him. I'm sorry, Belsier, but if I was of lower birth, things might have gone differently, but you and I can never be.
You can hear this like sound of his teeth grinding, and he pulls you a little closer to him, and your cat kind of skitters out of the way as your like chest is against his, and he kind of looks down to you and he says, I'm not going to take that answer.
I push him away from me. You forget yourself.
You push him back. He shakes his head for a sec, and he says, I'm the strongest warrior in this house, the fiercest Iron Claw. I could have any one of these women. There's like a servant that like kind of stops on the other side of the hallway. He's like, I can have her. I could have anyone, but I choose you. I've loved you since you were little, and when I was little.
Again, Belsier, I'm honored and flattered by your request.
His eyes widen and he says, when my father was leaving the village, when I just became a man, do you know why I committed that crime? They had me thrown in the bear pit.
No.
He straightens. He says, I didn't want to leave you. I murdered that son of a bitch for you because I saw him looking at you.
I shake my head.
I killed
You must know.
I killed that bear for you.
You must know it can never be between us. I am meant for other things, for other men.
He looks you over again. He says, if that was so, you would have been married a long time ago.
For the love I bear you, and you bear my brother and me, I will ignore that remark. Now, do whatever it is you do and leave me be. I walk off.
He takes a step forward, but your cat immediately goes and he stops in his tracks. And he like you can tell that he's like really pissed, but he says, "I'm not giving up." As you're like turn the corner away from him, you hear like a. And unless you guys have anything specific that your characters want to do, I think you're going to see Marianne.
Yeah, I'm just gonna freshen up with her and spend some quality time with her, and but after that, I'll definitely want to talk to both Marcus and Brander.
Okay. So as you're with Marianne, she'd give you a big hug. She's like, you're back, and she hugs you. She hugs Kitty, Aegon. She tells you like a whole bunch of stories. She has like a little sad moment about father's bones, that kind of thing. But she's generally kind of playful with you. So like that's how you kind of spend most of the day. Let's say food would have been brought to her room around dinner time. Nathan would have been it's not your character probably wouldn't be upset that Nathan didn't come and say hi to you, because he's very much like, I'm going to be playing my games in my room kind of guy. Edgam has been kind of skittish since you've returned. He kind of has this, like, it's easy for you to tell when he's gotten into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gotten into trouble today.
If I notice that, I'll probably talk to him about it, because I'll probably greet Nathan and Edgam as well, of course, once I'm freshened up a bit and have my comfortable clothing on and stuff, and then I'll go and see everyone.
Okay. So from Edgam, he would tell you that that stupid knight, the one that never talks, just stands there and watches the gas flow. He grabbed me and threw me into Marcus's room for no reason at all.
What? Why?
Well, I was watching the girls, and I guess he doesn't like that. It's like he's got authority around here or something. Anyway,
he doesn't have any authority around here.
Well, the matter
was
already.
Authority is to protect Lady Rivers.
He kind of scratches the back of his head as you say that. He's like, yeah, well, the matter was brought to Marcus and it was already dealt with, so I don't even know why I'm explaining it.
So you've been looking at the ladies again?
Sure. He nods to you. I mean, I have to get my mind off of what's happened.
Have you bedded any one of them?
He widens his eyes. He's like, you want me to tell you that?
Only if you want to talk about it.
He's like, sure. Shrugs his shoulders. I've had a few. I mean, before Dad died too, but that was just for fun. This is like, I don't know, getting my mind off it.
So are you looking to get a woman? And I mean a proper woman, not one of these servant girls.
He grins at you. He's like, I'm fine where I am.
I'm just saying, servant girls are fine and good, but a proper lady, marriage and things might be more interesting to you.
I don't want to think about that right now. and he kind of looks you over. He says, "Why are you thinking about marriage?"
I am.
Oh yeah? Did you meet someone? He tilts his head at you.
No, but it has come to my attention that I am getting older. I kind of playfully raise one of my eyebrows and well, I kind of act like this model kind of pose, and these looks won't last forever. I smile.
He grins a little bit. Well, thing about servants, he looks to you. They get older, they get fuck. Oh my god, stop. I just got out of game. I just got reminded of a scene. I forget what movie it was, and he's like, one thing I like about high school girls, I keep getting older, they stay the same age. But Edgam says, one thing I like about servants is that the ugly ones are shuffled elsewhere. So he smiles at you.
Listen, Edgam, you weren't the first, and you're definitely not going to be the last to have fun with servants, but if you do have fun with them, you best treat them with a little bit of respect, all right?
Well, it's not like I'm marrying them. Yeah.
No, but you put them in a very fragile position, and, well, you have to be careful with them. They're people, too. All right?
All right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to go see Marcus and Brander. Do you think if Brander's already done his training?
He shrugs. I don't really know what's going on with him.
He's changed since I left. Have you noticed it?
Well, changed his clothes.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess there's a completely different attitude that comes with being one of them.
I don't know. It happened quite quickly, if you ask me. But then again, Brander has always been a little bit off-hinged.
Yeah. He's well, he's been being a little mouthy. I guess he's getting a spine. She laughs a bit.
That must hurt. I smile at him and kiss him on the cheek as I walk off.
Yeah, he gives you this weird look when you kiss him on the cheek. He's like, and he walks off opposite side of the hallway. Marcus, do you guys have any other goals for the rest of this day?
Well, I'm gonna listen to whatever the Maester wants to tell me privately.
Okay, yes.
And after that, I'm most likely, if Elena is gonna come and talk to me, I'm gonna talk with her. And to cap the night off, I'm gonna go and talk with Alyssa and spend the night in her room.
Okay, so as you're with the Maester, it's not like you went to another location or anything. Like everybody left the room. He's still talking in a whisper though. He says, "I'm a little concerned. When I leave, there is that situation still with the knight. That was, the one I'm talking about, Blackstone. I've been giving him milk of the poppy, and without me there, proper measure needs to be given to him. Now, milk of the poppy is a very peculiar medicine. If too much is given, it can take a man's life. If too little is given, then, well, it might just have a pleasant effect, but it won't keep him in his bed, if you understand what I mean. With me gone, I would need someone that knows how to administer it, and I have someone in mind for it. However, I'm not sure if... Well, I'm concerned it's your brother. It's Brander. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, and it's not a good custom for me to share the information of another, especially one that I consider a friend and in confidence. But since I am to leave Bearhold for the time being, I should make you aware that your younger brother Brander has been having strange dreams, and I caught him outside of the hold on one occasion in a waking dream. He's been spending time in your father's old room, as I'm sure you're aware. I have stopped treatment on him for his shoulder from that injury, but I think he's getting a little sounder as far as his troubles are concerned. I haven't found him wandering about, at least. I think this Iron Claw thing has helped him out, as had his stay in your father's chamber, but I still worry about him. However, he is the one most qualified to administer the poppy. So, what I mean to say is that I would be leaving this drug in his hands, if that is fine with you, my lord.
No, it isn't.
He nods slowly. I would have to train someone in the proper administration of it. Last thing you want is Sir Polar Blackstone getting out of bed and wreaking havoc for his slain master. The medicine at this point is less to dull the pain, but more to keep him passive and in bed.
Why can't he just puke in his sleep and choke on it?
Your maester straightens his back and he says, if that were to happen, then a double dose of what I am providing him now would have to be administered by someone, not a professional, just someone. And he walks over to where your dinner table is, and he searches for one of the cups, and as he grabs it, he turns to you, and he puts his index finger like a quarter of the way up the cup. And as he's holding it there, he says, about this much.
You will be leaving in the morning. You still have one night left to make sure that happens.
He's a little shocked for a bit, and he says, that sort of act best not be done by me. I am adverse to participating in a man's demise unless it is in the act of war or self-defense. I have the chain of medicine. He touches it. It's just like white chain, just white link. It forbids me from doing what you ask.
Fine. In that case, do not give him the milk of a poppy at all. I will have someone else take care of this in a discreet way.
I will make my chambers available then. The milk of the poppy will be on my desk. A flask about yay big. He indicates with his hands. It's way more than enough to kill an elephant. But the proper dose administered, given to him through the lip, would end your troubles, my lord.
I hope you're... I hope you will keep this between us better than you kept your information with Brander just between the two of you.
Yes, the only reason why I've told you this is because, well, I am concerned about him still, and if I'm not here, I just hope that more of it doesn't occur.
I'm sure rigorous training will have his mind occupied all around the day.
He gives you a nod. Well, I will get to getting ready then. That is what I wish to speak to you about. Just my concerns.
I will nod and give him like a nonchalant wave of a hand.
Okay.
And if there's a possibility before Elena comes to talk to me, if I could like go and have a word with Belthier.
Sure. That sounds great. As you're looking for Belthier, you would have been told that he went to the tavern. In an angry mood.
I'll again yell out like, "You get Belthier here!"
Okay.
To our runner.
All right. Long story short, Belthier arrives. So this would have meant that that Brander would have seen Belthier enter the tavern just as you're getting drinks, and he would have given you a look, like a quick look. You and Claudio. He would have walked towards where the drinks are, and grabbed the bartender on the scruff of his neck. And basically you'd see the bartender leave behind the bar as Belthier goes back there and starts making himself drinks. He's like, Claudio would give you a look, like, oh man, and you guys would be like in your like probably third cup at this point, as Belthier is really swinging them down. Claudio would look to you, Brander. Wonder what happened. I hope he didn't get demoted or anything.
Some things are better off not knowing. I think I will retire for the evening.
Wait, you're not going anywhere. Lots of drinks still.
You can have mine. I slide my glass over to him.
Alright, you slide your glass to him. He gives you this look, and he says, you'd be the first Ironclaw to leave a celebration. You want to be known for that?
How long does this have to continue?
All night, my friend. And he clicks his fingers and grabs one of the women that he puts on his lap. This is like back in time again. So I had you played out till night being here. But you can, if you want to leave, you can leave. It'll be a different scene.
Well, if they tell him that he's supposed to stay, he'll stay.
Okay. So as you're still celebrating, you'd see a boy run in, ask for Belthier. Belthier would do one of these like, what, who? And then as soon as you hear like Marcus, he'd drink down what he's been drinking and follow. And long story short, Belthier arrives, Marcus. You smell ale on him.
I'll
Where would you meet him? Would you meet him in the throne room, in the main room, or
yeah,
somewhere?
I haven't gone anywhere. When he would arrive, I would like walk up to him and I would put my arm around his shoulders and just kind of grab his clothes from his other shoulder, and I'll just talk to him in a lower tone of voice, and I'll say, I'll need you to do something for me.
He looks to you. You smell ale on his breath. What is it? I'll do whatever you ask.
That's what I like to hear. That's why you are best of all the Iron Claws around here.
What is it? What is it, brother? He and looks to you. You're still in your Iron Claw outfit, right? I imagine you're always in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Black Knight. The Black Knight is sleeping his days away in the Maester's quarters, being under house arrest, being guarded without him knowing that he's under house arrest. Now that I'm sending the Maester away on a task to Wood Tower, there's not going to be anyone administering the drug to him, and the drug happens to be of more use to me than the man is. The drug is more worthwhile having than the Black Knight is. So I'd rather fix that. And I'd rather fix that with not overdosing him, but I want you to do something I know you're capable of doing, and where I know you can handle yourself. Go there once he wakes up and agitate the living hell out of him and defend yourself, and he just happens to not walk out after that little scuffle you'll have with him. You guys still there?
Yeah, man.
Oh, sorry, I had my mic on mute. He looks to you. He nods. You see his eyes are a little bloodshot, but he says, "I'll take care of it."
Don't make it a clear assassination. Have the guards who are there be a witness to it. No matter how much you provoke him, if he attacks you, defend yourself to the point of what needs to be done.
I'll do just that. And listen, before I go, that double you told me to track, I'd have tracked him to the ends of the earth, you know. Your brother got a hold of him and had him killed, but not like it matters anymore. I just want you to know that if you give me the word, I'll do it. You can trust me in anything.
I know I can. You don't need to tell me that.
He still doesn't move. He says, "You remember that conversation we had before I left? When I told you that I fancy your sister?"
I'll look at him questioningly, without making too much of an expression on my face, just my regular stone face.
He takes a breath. Well, the feeling hasn't dissipated. What can I do to get her hand, to get your blessing? Is there anything?
I'll just keep looking at him and not really giving out anything he could read, really.
He looks away and he puts a hand on his he takes his you still has your hand around his shoulder, so he'd slink back a bit and he says, "It's the drink, Stocking. I'll take care of him." He starts to
Good work, brother.
You see him just nodding his head as he's moving away from you. And anybody else that wanted to do something?
Well, I still want to talk to Elena, to Marcus, and if Brander, if she can find him. But I take it she quickly learns that he's not in the cave in the hall, and she's not going to go to the tavern to talk.
Yeah. So where are you going, Elena?
Probably looking to talk to Marcus.
Okay. So Marcus. You know where he is. He'd be at the main kind of hall, and it would be past midday now. But yeah, there he is.
Good afternoon, Marcus.
I'll raise my head and look at her, and I'll just let out.
Can I talk to you for a moment?
Yes, of course. What is it?
I move towards him. Is there any? Where are you sitting?
I'm standing, and I'm like, I don't have like a game set on the table like how Nathan would have, but I'm still like I guess I would have like a map there, and I'm like I have like my hand on top of the map. I'm like pondering on tactics and such, clearly.
Then I'll probably sit down or kind of lean on the table next to the map. How are you feeling?
Nothing irregular. Why?
Oh no, I just thought that you'd be happy that we won this challenge.
Yes, I am. Everything went as good as it could.
Good. Have you unwrapped the gift I gave you?
No, not yet. I received another gift not too long ago that might interest you as well.
Which is?
Can't remember the guy's name, but the Wood Tower Prince's head.
Sigurd.
Ah, Sigurd, yes. I saw them taking it.
Ah. Well then you understand why I gave the order to Tarly and the Maester.
To go to Wood Tower, yes, of course.
Yes. What condition was it in? Honestly. Not anything coming from somebody trying to cover their asses. Honestly, especially from a woman's opinion. What was Wood Tower like?
What exactly was my thought on this, Zig?
Well, you saw no men really. You saw the Ironclaws drinking ale from a barrel outside, like they own the place. So you saw Ulmer basically isolating himself in the tower that had the flags of your house in front of it. Things looked like it was like Vietnam. It was bad.
It was like a place of war, really. The Ironclaws are a ragged bunch. That's putting it mildly. That's actually the main reason why I wanted to speak to you.
They are when they lack a leader. Ulmer taking himself to be a leader worthy of the Ironclaws is the reason why all this is happening the way it is. It's up to me to fix everything behind him again.
It's not Ulmer's fault that Father sent the Ironclaws with him and left him in command.
That's true.
Almer should have never been sent with the Iron Claws if he cannot control them. And that's exactly the reason why I'm here. The Iron Claws seem to be only respecting other Iron Claws, or, well, to put it bluntly, you or one of their own.
That is the case.
They show little to no respect for the other members of your family. I wanted to know if you were A, aware of this, and B, if you were comfortable with this situation.
It's just the way it is.
Is it? In the gift I brought you, it's Sim's body.
Figured as much.
I wanted to bring him to you alive, seeing as what he did to us and how he betrayed you. It would have been a suitable thing to show off your dominance and your position in the house. However, these Iron Claws blatantly refused any of my commands and killed him where he stood.
You do not honestly expect them to take orders from women, do you?
I expect them to take orders from their superiors. Am I wrong to understand that I was there speaking with your voice?
You are not wrong in that. But there is...
Yes?
To people who've come to that position through breaking the law, it's very easy to imagine why they would have little respect for rules and regulations instead of simply one's power. They do not they're like animals. They need to respect you because they fear you.
Very
Not
well.
because... Not in terms of... You mean that professionally or personally?
Both. Which brings me to my second point. Belsier has requested me. Are you aware of this?
Where's the Him. Stop the madness.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought I had it muted. My bad.
It's okay.
Are you aware of this, brother?
I'm aware of his affection, but not that he approached you about it.
He has. He put his hand on my hip and pulled me towards him.
And what?
He said he wanted me. That he was the most powerful Iron Claw here. And that he could have any woman he wanted, except he wanted me.
So far, all true?
Yes. I refused him and said that it could never be, but he said he would not let down.
Yes. He's mostly a man driven by his passions, so can't really blame him. But he's a fool to think it could ever happen.
I think it would be wise for you to make this clear to him. As you stated before, he has little respect for women. I've tried to inform him nicely that it could not be, but I think my words hold very little sway with him.
I can do that.
Unless you wanted me to take care of it myself, brother. You seem somewhat comfortable with the fact that your soldiers seem comfortable enough to touch and pull your sister towards them.
Belthier is a little different.
So Belthier is allowed to have me if you wish.
No. Never said that.
No, but that's what... If he's not disciplined, that idea might raise in his head.
So you
Seeing
wish
as
me
how
to...
little he thinks of women, and apparently everyone here does.
Well then. You've turned back his advances. You've turned down my offer to check out, to look at the possibility of advances from the Frostfoot. You have anything in your mind yourself?
On marriage, you believe, you mean?
Yes.
I have, and that's also something I wanted to speak to you about.
Go on.
The conversation we had about me having to marry, it did not fall on deaf ears. You were right. I'm growing older. If I am to marry, I should marry relatively quickly. But, forgive me for saying so, I believe that I am of value to this house. Am I correct?
You are. And that is why I wouldn't like to give you up for anyone but an heir.
My point exactly. If I am to marry, I want to marry up. I want to marry into a house which is more prominent, more powerful than our own.
What, outside Bear Island?
If need be. Seeing as we're about to become the most prominent members of this island. The choices here are very limited.
You would leave then.
No. If I am to marry, yes. But even if I marry someone on Bear Island, brother, it would mean that I have to move there, and I would not be at your beck and call.
No, but they would be.
Would they?
Yes, they would.
That's your thought on it. I don't look at the Frostfoot as to be a prominent family, brother. Do you?
No, they aren't. But they are a worthy ally. But then again, I can see them their allegiance being bought with something cheaper than your hand.
She smiles as you say that. I'm glad you see it my way.
But as you did mention yourself getting older, plans to marry outside Bear Island are something I haven't even come to consider yet.
I wish to talk to Nathan about these things. Nathan has a... Yes. Nathan has a funny talent to know a lot of history and a lot about the houses surrounding us. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
He might know of a house that has a suitable candidate for me.
But before we are the most prominent household on Bear Island, your stock is still fairly low compared to what it will be once we have Bear Island.
As always, you are one step ahead of me, brother. It is indeed a thought that I will become much more valuable once we are the prominent house of this island. And once we are, it'll be, of course, of great value to us to have strong alliances outside the island.
All right. But that is something for the future. We cannot be certain of what position each house will be at the point when we will be the prominent house on this island. It could still take a while.
Indeed, but seeds can be planted, brother. I wish to speak to Nathan about houses that might be fitting to us and perhaps show my face there or invite them over to feast with us so that I might get to know perhaps my future husband.
Do that quickly, because I'm planning on sending out invitations to my marriage, to my wedding.
As you wish, brother.
And at this wedding I will be hosting a tournament in the Bear Pit. And I will want all the houses on Bear Island to join, and as well as some of the outsiders, if you find some of them so appealing. Originally, I was planning on keeping this a rather closed procedure.
I will speak to Nathan and Oma about it. They should both have ideas on it. With your leave, brother, I stand up and I curtsy.
Fine. I'll wave my hand.
I walk off.
Okay. As you're walking off, it is, I think I said you had dinner with Marianne, right? So it's kind of like getting a little later in the day. Like the rest of you, like Brander, you would have been like eating in the tavern. Marcus, you would have had food like brought to you. It's probably why the maester like picked up a cup, because some of the leftover food would have been at the table. So as Elena is making her way to try to find Nathan's, heading towards Nathan's room, Edgam passes you again. He's got it looks like he's got something in his finger, like wrapped around his finger. As he passes you, can you kind of give it a glance? It looks like a note of some sort, and he's got this big grin on his face. He just nods to you as you pass him. And Nathan's door to his room is closed.
I want to mention here quickly that I would be wanting to meet Edgam myself before the day is over to
Perfect. Okay, so yeah, and as Elena, as you head towards Nathan's room, yeah, as I said before, the door is closed.
I knock on his door.
You hear no answer at first, but then as you're thinking, like, what's going on, he opens it and he's looking at you, like his eyes are a little red. Sister?
Hey, Nathan. Can I speak to you?
Yes. Yeah, he steps away from the door.
Thank you. Are you alright?
Sleeping.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you?
Yes.
I look at the bed.
It looks like he's been laying in it.
Okay.
His game board is like right beside it. And you see like pieces and things like that set aside. You see like stacks of books as well.
I sit on the bed.
Okay, he looks at you.
I wanted to ask you something. I require your help with something.
What is it?
Oh, but first off, did you learn anything interesting about John Aaron?
He looks towards his books and then looks towards you. And he says, historically he was heavily involved in the rebellion. He was the one that initiated it, and King Robert as well as Lord Stark were among the first to get involved with him because he was such a great man.
Mm.
That is why he was handed the king.
I was actually more looking for recent things, how House Aaron is doing, and well.
He looks down. He says, "I'm uncertain how they are doing." He has an heir.
That's good. But there's something else I wanted to talk to you about. Are you familiar with the houses and the lineages of the houses surrounding us? And I mean not the houses on Bear Island, but more on the mainland.
He nods to you slowly. Not all of them, but a good amount.
The most important ones, I mean.
Which ones in particular? Which ones are you thinking about?
Well, I spoke to Marcus and, well, I should be casting my eye out to see if there's anyone that is a suitable candidate for marriage.
A military or political advantage would be best secured by seeking someone from the north.
Exactly. So, I would like to have a house that has power, either militarily or financially, or influence, of course, and have them, marry their heir, to put it bluntly.
He looks you over. He says, "The heirs are the most difficult to marry into, especially the males." He starts
I was
to
planning
think
on marrying a male, so I hope you can manage that.
He doesn't smile at all. He says, "Of course."
I do.
As he's thinking, he's looking you over quite a bit, and he says, "Whose idea is this? The idea of our brother?"
Well, I like to have him think that it is. I smile at him.
He doesn't catch on the smile, but he immediately says, "A house located closer to us would be best. However, House Ironsmith, House Glover might be potentials. More Glover than Ironsmith, I would say. However, there is a history between our house and Glover, as your our mother was a glover.
That would make it hard.
He nods slowly to you. There is House Overton as well. They have an unclaimed heir.
Would you mind writing down a list of suitable heirs and their houses so I could look into them?
He looks into your eyes for a sec, but he nods. He says, marrying a male requires a sizable contract, a dowry for the woman in the case of the North.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have enough resources to sell you off?
Well, that's Marcus' department. I'm sure he'll do what he can.
I will compile a list for you.
Thank you, brother. I'll leave you to get back to your bed. You look a bit tired.
I noticed that Almer is back.
Yes.
He nods. And
The talk went well. He acknowledges Marcus to be our head of the house, and he falls in line just like us, like everyone.
He walks towards the game board, and it's weird, really weird, because he picks up a piece from the side and puts it back on the board, and he says, "What is his position?"
I believe he's going to have the infantry.
He moves the piece over to one of the other pieces and kind of just like switches them out, and he says, "Unfortunate decision.
How so?
It is removing a smaller piece, a weaker piece, with a stronger one."
Where would you have him positioned?
He puts that piece back at the very front. This piece is disposable.
Almer?
He looks at the board and he says, "In a strategic sense."
Are you proud of your sister that I got Almer back in your game?
He nods. He is back, but he creates a challenge.
I'm sure Marcus is up for it.
He nods at you. "I will make the list right away."
Thank you, brother. But if you need, get some rest first. There's no real hurry.
He opens up one of the books, and he runs his finger down like the words.
Is he sitting down while he's doing this? Or?
No, he's like standing over the bed where he puts lays his book out beside you if you're still sitting on the bed. And he's like, so you can tell it's like a book of like houses and like that kind of thing.
Excellent. If you're done with this book, can I borrow it from you?
Your character can read, right? Out of character.
Yeah.
Okay. He makes this like weird face as he's looking through it. He says, "When I'm done."
Of course. Thank you. I stand up or kind of almost like jump up a bit giggy and walk off.
Okay. And at this point, as you leave, time goes forward a little bit, just a few hours. It's dark, Brander. You don't know how the hell you got here, but you're in your room. You're in your father's room. You're sitting on the bed. You're kicking sand off your feet. Actually, it's not you're not kicking them off, but as soon as you get your boots off, sand runs out from them, and you're staring at the sand, like perhaps thinking, "How the heck did I get sand in my boots?" And you should be drunk, but you're really not that drunk. You're not really feeling it. As your eyes move towards the basin, you see that it's like half water, half vomit. And as you're like staring at the sand, you hear like cries throughout the hall. And Marcus, you've been looking for Edgam for a little while, trying to scold him. And the guards, like one of the guards, you can tell this guy is the guy who basically watches the docks. He stops before you, ashen-faced, and he's staring at you for a moment. My lord, there's something you should see.
What?
It's your brother. He looks outside the hall and basically like, you should see.
Which one of my brothers?
Lord Edgam.
I roll my eyes in my head, and I'll go to walk forward.
Okay, it's odd because he's taking you outside the hall and he's taking you along the coast. And as you're heading there, you see people with torches, and you see like there's like tracks all over, like of people that have arrived on the scene. And as you make your way through them, you see your brother Edgam, his head twisted, his body like in a heap. His mouth is like wide open, and his eyes are like wide open, and the positioning of his body, it looks like he was like, I don't know, either choked or his head was twisted off. Not off, but like twisted to the point of death. But your brother Edgam is quite dead, laying on pretty much close to where you found the fisherman, and that kind of vicinity. These guys are watching you. They're all like silent.
I'll use my fists and elbows to make a hole, and not like shoving people, but I will be punching people away from me while I go towards him. Like I'll immediately have like this second of like this kind of for a second, time doesn't move type of thing, like this, and then I'll just run past everybody, and I'll go there, and I'll drop on one knee, and I'll like put my hands on like under his arms, like around his chest there, and I'll like lift his body up. But most likely he's gonna be extremely limp. But I'll be biting my teeth together and squinting my eyes over it, and after that I'll stand up, and as I stand up I'm lifting the dead body, and I'm putting it on my lap, and like keep my arms under his butt, like I'm holding him like a child, or something, and I'll look around me. Do I see anyone familiar around me, or are these just generic
these are
village folk?
These are village folk and some of the infantry guards that basically watch the dock. But make me an awareness check real quick.
What do you think? What do you think off game I want to ask? Because, in these situations, you can't really ask, what am I looking for, Yeah. But it's like if it's about spotting a clue or spotting anything like that, I would want to use a destiny point. But if it's like roll awareness to see if you dodge like a seagull taking a crap.
No, this is not. This is a clue.
Okay. Then in that case, I will use a destiny point, not burn it, but use it.
Yeah.
So that gives me 3 points more, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's. I got 6, so that's 9.
Okay. You notice that as you're hugging him, your brother to you, there's something that slipped out of his finger, It looks like there was a piece of paper rolled over his finger, and now it's fallen into the sand, and it's kind of being like the wind from. It's not strong, but it makes this paper kind of roll along the sand a bit.
I'll grab it immediately and put it into my pocket. Oh no! I'll first look at it, see if there's like a picture or a symbol or something.
No, it's writing.
Okay, in that case, I'll put it quickly into my pocket, not letting anybody read it, and even though I found Edgam to be a piece of shit, it's still very different from somebody who's not in my family, dying, and he's a kid.
Yeah.
So I don't break down or anything like that, but I'll be I'll be filled with rage inside, and I'll just be biting my teeth together, and I will be walking straight into the maester.
Yeah. Everybody gives you like your distance as you eventually make your way towards the maester, who has just heard of this and is now also running out to take a look. So you stop him halfway. He's basically outside near the dock, as he must have just put on his robe, that kind of thing, hair disheveled.
Yeah.
What's happened?
I'll take him.
He looks at the body even from a distance. His mouth drops, his eyes widen, and he just nods to you.
I will go and get Alina and Almer.
Yes.
Go and get them. You see to him.
Yeah.
I'll go and I'll run off. I'll run my ass off.
Okay, so, you just get Almer and Elena?
Okay.
Nobody
else. I'll go to Elena first.
Okay. Elena, you probably, probably a sound sleeper, so you probably don't even know what's going on.
No, I'll probably be most likely sharing my bed with Marianne, and we'll both be sleeping with Aegon in the room, of course.
I won't bang on the door. I will very quietly and discreetly open the door and go to sneak in.
Okay.
So that I could place my hand on her shoulder and whisper and mildly shake her shoulder just to get her to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll whisper hey, wake up.
I look at Marianne.
I need you to get up.
I free myself quietly and softly from Marianne, and I'll get up.
Okay.
I'll put on a thick robe or something around my shoulders, and I'll walk outside with Marcus.
I'll then say, you still need to get Almer.
What's going on? You look pale.
Let's just get Almer.
All right.
Okay. You guys eventually would find Almer in the hallway. Not sure if you heard the news or not, but you find him in the hallway, kind of outside his bedroom.
Oh, I'll immediately go to him and I'll be like, Almer, are you all right?
What's going on outside?
I need you both to come to the Maester's quarters immediately now.
Yeah.
Something has happened that you need to be witness to.
All right. So you guys...
Elena's hand moves to her mouth, terrible thoughts are running through her mind.
So you guys head to the Maester's. There's a bit of a wait before the Maester would return. He looks like, ashen-faced. Looks the two of you over. Are you aware? He looks like what's happened?
No. Is it Brander? Did something happen to Brander?
It's
No.
If the maester's in the way, I'll push him out of the side to get into his room quicker.
You get into his room. He moves out of the way. He says, "I just saw a terrible thing. Your younger brother, Edgam. He's puts his hand on his writing desk, where you see like a container of this like clear liquid. He says, he's dead. Your brother, his head, his neck has been twisted in such a way that his spine snapped, instantaneous. No sign of a struggle. Foolishly, the guards, there are so many that any sign of prints in the sand have vanished.
Do I see his body?
Since you're with the Maester, his body would be being brought in right now, all like covered. He says,
"No, by the gods."
He lowers his eyes and says, "I could perform a more thorough investigation, but this is a preliminary look." Remember what the guard said earlier when the fisherman was found strangled just a few nights ago, over 2 weeks ago, I believe. Dumped or killed almost in the same spot.
No. Elena sits down somewhere.
His body will be treated as your father's was. But it's clear there is someone that has a vendetta.
Do I know if Olmer can read?
You definitely can't read. Your brother can't read, no.
Then I'll go to the Maester and I'll pull the note out of my pocket and I'll say, he had this in his fingers.
He takes it, holds it, like unwraps it. His eyes widen a bit. This is from the servant Samantha. She beckons Edgam to meet her at the shore at night, alone, for a night of passion. He folds the paper and looks at you.
Can a roll be made to see if we're fooled by this right from the get-go?
What would you be thinking?
That the servants hated his guts and were basically being raped by him, so this is bullshit.
Alright, what would you roll? Like a cunning check, I guess.
Elena can read, right?
He
just
can
so we're
read.
clear.
He sets it down. He folds the paper and he puts it on the table.
Oh man, only 5.
Oh, that's not good. Seems legit to you.
Oh fuck! I'm a big dummy.
Damn those servants!
But
I'm gonna hang all the servants now.
What? Edgum had a letter from a servant?
It appears so.
I kind of shake my head and... What servant is this that she's able to read and write?
Apparently one that can break a man's neck. He looks at your brother.
Give me that letter.
It's not the finest of handwriting. It's on the table. You unroll it. It looks pretty sloppy. The handwriting looks pretty sloppy. But it does say what he read. He even has a heart at the bottom.
I can't believe that this would be written by a servant.
Seems legit to me. I didn't say that.
Okay, let's stop here because it's 4:20ish, and this moment of suspense. As I'll drop 6 experience on everybody.
Damn you, Brander!
La, 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 la.
Wah, 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 wah.
Oh, man.
Oh, well, you're still killing the asshole ones.
Yeah.
You killed Dad and you killed Edgam. Once you go to Ninth and Marianne, it's on like Donkey Kong.
It's not like Donkey Kong, man. What's up?
Maybe I have my sights higher or something. You never know. No.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Brander didn't do anything. You didn't hear
Oh.
that in the audio, did you?
Yeah, no one knows what happened.
I'm gonna have to tell Belthier and Claudio to beat you extra hard. Just for the hell of it.
You can sing like Steel, boy.
Alright, guys. I gotta jump.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure.
All right.
Thanks,
You
guys.
too.
Are we playing next week, or did I
No.
somewhere?
Next week, my play is premiering.
Oh,
So,
I will watch the live stream.
yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, in Finnish.
See you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
So, but are we playing? Because I mean,
I can't play next week either, and actually, I can't play till like the 16th of November, so I think you guys will be playing without me.
Alright, so next week we'll definitely can't play, because if 2 players can't play, then we'll...
no, I can't.
But the week after that, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
See ya!
See ya.
See ya. Take care.